All right, today we are diving into a pretty wild and fascinating prophecy from the spiritual teacher Cheon-gong. We're going to break down one of his lectures that lays out, well, nothing less than the end of the world as we know it, the final step in human evolution, and the cosmic destiny of nations. So yeah, let's get right into it. Right off the bat, the lecture hits you with this huge, almost cosmic statement. It's designed to push you to think way beyond your everyday life. It suggests there's this grand, predetermined path for all of humanity. It's a really powerful idea that sets the stage for everything that's about to come. So our job here is pretty straightforward. We're just going to unpack the core concepts from this lecture. We're going to follow the logic, piece by piece, so we can really get a handle on the worldview being laid out. Okay, so the first foundational idea is a big one. It's this concept that humanity as we know it is at the very, very end of a major cycle and is about to go through this massive spiritual evolution. So according to the speaker, this life you're living, it's not just another go-around. For literally everyone alive right now, this is it. The final chance to exist in a physical human body. The whole long cycle of souls coming back to Earth again and again to learn new lessons, that's ending. So if this is our last shot, what are we supposed to be doing? And that leads us right to this key concept of non-material energy. The argument is that the only thing you actually take with you after this life is over isn't your money or your job title, it's this spiritual mass. It's all the knowledge, all the truth, all the wisdom your soul has gathered. That's what he calls the ultimate asset. He basically lays out a clear three-step journey for the soul. Step 1, live this final human life with real purpose. Step 2, focus all your energy on accumulating that non-material energy we just talked about. And the payoff? It's not just some cloudy afterlife, it's a full-on evolution. You become what he calls a heavenly god, a cosmic being with a brand new role to play in the universe. Now, this whole theory of soul evolution, it doesn't just stop with you and me as individuals. It actually scales up to the destiny of entire nations. And according to the speaker, one country in particular has an absolutely crucial role to play in this new era. To get what he's saying about Korea, you have to understand this term, Hongik Ingan. It's a really deep foundational idea in Korean culture. The speaker takes this concept and just elevates it to a cosmic level, saying that the Korean people are literally destined to become these Hongik Ingan who will lead the entire world. But how? Now, this is really important. This is not leadership with tanks or banks. He's crystal clear. Korea's mission is to lead with wisdom. He argues that by providing this kind of spiritual and intellectual guidance, all the world's material wealth, the golden treasures, will just naturally flow to them as other nations come seeking their help. So you've got this vision of leadership through wisdom, right? Well, that stands in really sharp contrast to how the speaker sees the current world powers. He turns his attention directly to them, and he has a powerful warning, especially for the United States. And this quote, it really gets to the heart of the whole thing. According to him, great power is a divine gift, but it comes with a huge responsibility. The only reason to have it is to protect and lift up the weak, not to serve yourself. And that's the standard he uses to measure the world's nations. The speaker claims that America was originally given its power because of its noble ideals, this mission for world peace that drew in the best minds from everywhere. But, he argues, America has totally abandoned that mission. It turned its power inward, using it just for self-interest. In his view, that's a massive failure of its divine purpose. And his failure of world leadership, he says, has consequences that aren't just spiritual or political. They're physical. This is where the prophecy turns to a massive transformation of the planet itself, what he calls the Great Correction. The whole prophecy really hinges on this one central claim, that the Earth's tilted axis is about to correct itself. And the lecturer then asks, what happens when it does? Well, the answer he gives is nothing short of cataclysmic. The very first consequence is that the Earth's crust just shatters. According to the prophecy, the very ground we're all standing on will begin to split wide open as this planetary upheaval kicks off. And then, after the ground splits, fire erupts from deep within the Earth. This tectonic chaos unleashes a vision of total elemental destruction across the entire globe. But here's where the physical event becomes a spiritual test. He claims this cataclysm isn't random, it's a cleansing force. It's specifically designed to sweep away those who are arrogant and have failed their purpose. So after this great correction, what's left?
This final section is all about the aftermath. It focuses on who survives this global test, and more importantly, why.
Get this, the speaker asserts that Korea will be the single safest country on Earth during this whole transformation. He says their safety is basically divinely ordained. They've been given a blessed and protected land specifically so they can fulfill their mission, to raise up wise leaders and guide the rest of humanity through the chaos that's coming. So his core call to action is actually kind of a paradox. He's basically saying that the solution to a nation's own internal problems is to stop focusing inward and start focusing outward. By concentrating on the bigger mission of serving all of humanity, he claims, a country's own difficulties will just naturally resolve themselves. And that leaves us with one final question that really gets to the heart of this entire lecture. It challenges all our normal ways of measuring power, things like GDP or military strength. And it asks us to think about a totally different standard. It's a really provocative thought that reframes the whole idea of global influence, not as a matter of force, but as a matter of enlightenment.